Hello everyone, ACY Securities is honoured to invite Tariq from Limitless PH, one of our top ranking traders on Tradingcup, to participate in our interview today. In only a short period of time, Tariq achieved a good result, ranking in the top place with an average 30% profit and 80% winning rate. Today I'm excited to invite Tariq to share his successful experience with our audience. Tariq, please say hello to everyone.
Hey, how you doing, mate? How's everybody doing? You guys have probably been wondering who the hell is this Royal Mint guy is. Modesty aside, we've been so much like dominating the leaderboards for past couple of months now. So I'm gonna tell you all about it today. By the way, my name is Tariq Gutierrez Tensuan. Here in the Philippines, they call me Coach T. And I'm basically the founder and CEO of Limitless PH Trading Academy. Basically really honored to be part of this interview today. And I've been working basically with ACY as their official partner in the Philippines for over 2 years now, focusing on both specifically the education part, where I teach the manual trading strategies, and now we've had the automated trading strategies as well. Also had the privilege to share my knowledge with fellow traders through Limitless PH, and today I'll share my journey and insights, including how I've achieved my short success, or pretty much a good level of success in the Trading Cup. So yeah.
Brilliant, thanks for that, Tariq. If you wouldn't mind just sharing your personal trading experience so far, like how you got started, what the progress has looked like and where you're at now. And what I like to do as well is I like to sort of look back and think, okay, when you first started, what was your expectations of trading, and how does that compare to where you're at now?
Man, we go back to a decade ago. It was almost a decade ago when I started learning about trading. I'm gonna try to cut it short because we don't really have, like, how many minutes do we have here for the whole thing?
As long as you need, my friend.
Okay. So yeah, because I've been checking the other videos. I thought it should be like under 10 minutes. But yeah, so let's start with the beginning. I'm a self taught trader. Basically I started when I was in the Middle East. So my course is related, though I studied economics in college. So it's basically related to stock trading, and that's what I started doing when I was in the Middle East. I used to, I did study in the Middle East. I did work in Saudi Arabia specifically for a couple of years, and I didn't really have I didn't really have anything to do there apart from just trading, because Saudi Arabia is kind of like one of those stricter countries, especially back in those days. There's not a lot of activities you can do on a daily basis. So I devoted my time, my extra time after work. I just go back to my table, my desk, and just observe how the market works, and check how the market reacts to different kinds of news and all that in terms of the fundamental analysis. But then, to cut it all short, I started doing Forex specifically when I was there, because I couldn't really find a broker in Saudi Arabia while I was there. But anyway, so I also went back to like my account in the Philippines for the Philippine Stock Exchange. But for any stock trader that you would find here in the Philippines, and tell you the same thing. There's not a lot of opportunities in the market here, because the Philippine Stock Exchange is kind of like, there's not a lot of movement and volume on a daily basis. Except recently though, but yeah, back in the days, um, it was really that bad. But then I realized that there's this other opportunity which I could do in trading, which was obviously currency trading. And I started learning and learning. I started with a lot of demo accounts for sure, and when I started using a lot of live accounts, like everybody else probably in this industry, I blew up a couple of accounts before I really started learning. And then fast forward to, let's say, 2018. I went back to the Philippines in 2017, by the way. And when I went back to the Philippines, there's really just not a lot of groups that you can join. Like what, right now you can just go on Instagram or maybe Telegram or Discord. You'll find a lot of like-minded individuals, like traders, who also want to know, combined of novice and expert traders in the same group, where you can ask questions and stuff like that. So there wasn't really a lot of that in the Philippines when I came back. So we decided to build our own community in trading. And that's when basically Limitless PH, or the idea of Limitless PH, came into fruition. Because, you know, you guys would agree with me, if especially for those of you who have been trading for a long time, there wasn't really a lot of like information that you can find outside. It was mostly retail information, right? There's not a lot of strategies that you can find. You'd have to pay for huge amount of money just to learn basically a strategy or two. So when we started doing that, when we started building our own community, I saw that there was a demand with people needing the knowledge to learn more about trading. And I'm just gonna cut it all short. 2018, I started Limitless PH Trading Academy as my own community, and I've basically taught over 2,000 students, nationwide and around the globe. We also have international clients, but mostly Filipinos. And yeah, right now I have like 300 to 400 active trading students. And we've mastered both the manual trading strategies, which I teach to most of my students, and now also the very new thing, relatively new thing that we have, which is the Royal Mint automated trading. So, yep.
Brilliant, perfect. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, for sure. I mean, compared to, 5, 10 years ago, I think it was more like a global thing, right? There wasn't a whole heap of information out there. Nowadays, when you go out, you search YouTube, you've got a whole plethora of different YouTubers, different content creators sharing their knowledge, which you just wouldn't have found, back 5, 10 years ago when a lot of us maybe might have started trading. So very good. And it sounds like you're just giving the people what they want, sort of thing, right? Like putting them in touch with not only for courses, but the education side of things. And that's one of the reasons why I think our partnership works so well, like ACY and Limitless, from the sense that education being one of our key pillars as well. So well done on that, and you've done a real good job of building up that community. But more so along the automated side of things, right? So a lot of your success, especially in the Trading Cup, I guess you could attribute more to the Royal Mint EA. Could you tell us a little bit more about Royal Mint or your strategy which you're currently running?
For sure, for sure. So just a little bit of a context, guys. I'm not really a scalper myself, right? It's not a strategy that I teach. It's not a strategy that I'm effective with. But see, what I do is my manual trading approach is mostly based on intraday, right? So it's trend following, basically just looking for those retracements. I don't necessarily use Fibonacci. I have my own way of understanding where the retracement would be, and it's all about trend following, right? We have different types of trading strategies, manual trading strategies, which is probably 4 or 3 out of 4 of them is trending based, right? So I follow the trend, wait for the retracement, and then look for the opportunity to buy or sell that accordingly. But I also have a strategy which is based on a little bit of inconsistencies in the market. It's called market maker strategy, and it's going to be complicated if I talk about that. But let's go straight to Royal Mint, which is the automated version, right? So you guys will notice how many ranking individuals do we have on Trading Cup, like number one, number two, actually, the number 2 guy in Trading Cup is also a former student of Limitless PH, but he's not using Royal Mint, so I'm not gonna, get the credit for that. So number 1, number 3, number 4, number 6, 10, 12, 15, 21, 23, 28, and so on. Out of the top 50 traders, you'd find a lot of them are named after Royal Mint. So what is this Royal Mint, by the way? It is an EA that we developed, more specifically developed by one of my previous students, one of my earlier students. His name is Kerwin. He is from Cebu, here in the Philippines. And he's basically a programmer. I basically gave him the interest in trading in 2019. And he tried to basically use his skills in programming and create a lot of automated versions in trading. So I'm not gonna lie, we've had trials and errors in the past. We've not always found something like this that's really, really effective and worthy. So what Royal Mint is a very conservative trading system, right? You'll be surprised how simple it works. Of course, I'm not going to be going into the specific details, but there are some main and key components of Royal Mint, right? So number 1 is the low trade frequency. So, like I said, it's automated. It trades when it sees an opportunity to trade, depending on the setup. So it's also going to rank the trades, right? So let's say, for example, if you have a certain algorithm that tells you to buy a certain currency or any currency pair, or let's say major currency pairs, when the crossover happens, let's say on the TDI, or let's say on the RSI, Bollinger Bands, whatever, what happens is if there will be a lot of opportunities that would present itself on that moment, then we have a ranking system as to which the EA will only trade the best probability. All right. So plus on that sense, we only trade up to 5 pairs at a time. So it can be 5 same currency pairs or 5 different currency pairs. It's not going to open new trades, just to maintain the level of conservative or being conservative, because the main key factor for Royal Mint, the reason why we're ranking so high, is it's consistent and it's conservative. Okay. Number 2 is diversification. Now, there's 28 currency pairs, but one of the secrets that we did is that I normally have a meeting or discussion with this programmer from Cebu, Kerwin, as to like which currency pairs or which currency do we have to take out of the bucket. Like, for example, we've had recent events with Japanese yen. I mean, for the past 2 years, Japanese yen has been very, very, very volatile. So it's kind of risky for us to put that into our bucket. So we removed that. We also removed Swiss franc because of the recent events as well. So again, the reason why I'm telling you this is it all boils down to how conservative it works, right? So we're trying to remove certain currency pairs, especially because this Royal Mint trading strategy is based on a market that is just basically in a consolidation. So whenever a certain currency pair is going to go trend, or if I feel based on my analysis that a certain currency is going to go on a trend, then we have to remove that on the bucket as well, because again, it works in consolidation, right? The built-in indicators that we use are basically Bollinger Bands, RSI, moving average, convergence, divergence, and moving average as well, and then TDI. So TDI is Traders Dynamic Index. It uses a grid trading strategy, which is a little bit safer, of course, than the martingale trading system. We don't want that. So we have a very safe grid trading approach, and we modify it as well in terms of the currency pair. And of course, we have news filter. So, and I am the news filter. It's not automated. So if there's a news that I think would definitely affect the currency pairs that we are trading on the bucket, then we have to turn it off for a period of time. So yeah, that's basically how Royal Mint works. It's based on. I'm sorry if I can't go into details, because obviously it's our intellectual property. So, but it's basing on like M15 to like M30 movements using those indicators.
Yep, absolutely. No, very well done. And to your point as well, back onto not only consistency, but also the conservative. Now, what makes Trading Cup a little bit different compared to other trading competitions is that what's unique about it is that MMR ranking, right? Now, one of the big sort of factors which it takes into account, which maybe not a lot of other trading competitions tend to take into account, it's the percentage drawdown. And having looked at all of your strategies, like you said, it's very consistent and conservative, tend to have a lower drawdown, which is why it ranks it higher, right? But yeah, well done on that. And I guess this is a bit more of an open question, both around your manual as well as your automated trading. If you had to pick, like, what would you say your biggest challenge is, or the biggest challenge that you face? I know you mentioned, going through and selecting the currency pairs, where to focus your attention. But is there anything else that sort of causes you any headaches or any challenges that you can think of?
Well, this applies to both manual trading and automated trading, right? You have to be able to adapt to market conditions, right? So adapting to market conditions is the biggest challenge, because when you think you've see, this is what I always tell my traders, right? When you think you've figured it out, you haven't really figured it out, because the market will always change. It will always change directions. It will always change volume. It will always change, volatility, depending, like, for example, US election is upcoming, so we're expecting a lot more volatility. But you have to be able to adapt to that. So for manual trading strategies, it's crucial for you to adopt to changing of trends, and most especially the changing of behaviors, specifically the institutional behaviors, because we know that this market is mainly controlled by institutions. So you have to understand and adjust based on the behavior that they're doing. And number two is, as an educator, it's one of the challenges that I face is, I mean, most of you guys, you guys hear what we always say, right? So 90% of traders lose and only 10% of them make it, right? After 6 months. And to be honest with you, only 5% of that 10% would make it after 1 year. And why is that? It's the same thing that I've seen with all other traders every single time. Number one is the emotional side. So I'm not going to be completely zero guilt for this. Obviously, I'm still emotional sometimes, but I don't make that affect my decision in trading. So when you get so emotional, that's when you lose all your profitability. I see a lot of traders who went to my classes, been profitable for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and then they become greedy because they want to make more money. So that's what's going to happen, right? Your emotions of greed. And then you start losing money, and then you're going to have more greed. And then, the cycle continues. So number one, you have to be able to adapt to different market conditions. And number two, you have to exclude your emotions. I'm not saying you have to be a robot, but you have to exclude your emotions when trading.
Absolutely, no, very well put. And I see it very similar sort of across not just new traders, but some experienced traders as well. And it's the two things that people tend to struggle with the most. But I think it was a pretty good sort of overview and description of the Royal Mint EA. Thanks for sharing that with us, Tariq. Did you have anything else about Tradingcup that you wanted to tell the audience?
Well, I don't know, but guys, to be honest with you, I'm not an employee of ACY, but Tradingcup is like probably the best trading competition online that I've seen out there, because it's really, really depending on the consistency and obviously the conservativity of the account that you're following, especially now that it's open to public, that you can follow certain accounts, you can copy our accounts. What I like about Tradingcup is the MMR system, right? The ranking system is not only based on the total returns, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be ranking 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 and all that, right? Because we've only gotten to a point where we were averaging 2.5% to 3% per month. You have guys there who are making 100% per month, but why do we rank higher than them? Because like I said, the MMR system of ACY or Tradingcup is very, very unique in that aspect, that it is very meticulous in trying to find the real traders to follow. It's a great place to showcase both manual and automated trading strategies on Tradingcup. And by the way, if you guys want to follow our Royal Mint, for those of you guys international market, from all around the globe. So the reason why you'd mostly find here that the reason why we put it at $100 as a price is because as much as possible, we want to make it exclusive for the Filipinos under Limitless PH. But right now we're opening up for international markets. So you would find one guy there, specifically this rank number 4. The name is Royal Mint EA Limitless PH. He's currently at his 22.26% total gains. That's not accurate because he's had some deposit and withdrawals. The drawdown is at 7%. So you can follow this guy for only $30 a month. So again, the name is Royal Mint EA Limitless PH, currently ranked number 4. You can follow this guy for $30 a month and then see for yourself if you're going to make more money compared to just following any other random traders.
Brilliant. No, thank you very much for that honest review. And it is right. Like I was saying, it's what makes Tradingcup different, right? It's to almost put everybody on a level playing field. Because if you've got someone who's making, someone who starts off with $1,000 account versus someone who's starting off with $100,000 account, if you were to pick just one aspect, let's say, dollar gain, for instance, obviously the $100,000 account is going to be at a much higher sort of advantage, right? Which is why the MMR, it's super complex algorithm that takes into account all these different factors, which we believe is what makes a good trader, not just percentage gain, pip gains, number of trades taken, drawdown, number of percentage wins, and all the rest of it. So, yeah, I mean, it is unique in that sense. But yeah, very well done in the overall rankings and maintaining those top spots for so long as well. So congratulations on that. Yeah, I look forward to seeing what the future holds with, especially Royal Mint in particular. Thanks again. You take care, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Appreciate it.